Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hijack to Healthy, Key Tips to Mastering Yourself Through the Holidays and Beyond. I'm Lisa Brisse, exercise physiologist, wellness heart coach, author, and founder of State of the Heart Fitness. And here we are, the holiday season, and I know for some of you, this is your favorite time of the year, and for others, not so much. And then there's the variation in between each extremes. And I know that this time can be full of joy for many, but it also can be a time of stress, overwhelm, and depression for others. And I really want to honor wherever you are with this time of the year. And regardless, I want to offer some key things that has helped me, but in my many, many years of experience of working with people as an exercise physiologist, but also as a wellness coach, some key things that I believe will really help you to feel empowered and to be a master of yourself through the holidays, but also beyond. How do we become a master? Well, the number one key thing is our mindset. Where do we put our mind? Everything in life is a choice in how we see things and how we respond. Basically, life is our perception. And let me tell you, in my journey in healing and dealing with and healing from cancer, I have had to reframe myself and how I see things almost in every single moment of my life these days. And nothing has given me a bigger opportunity than to truly practice that. Shakespeare said, probably better than anybody, that nothing in life is good or bad, but thinking it makes it so. So basically, we give meaning to everything that we see and experience in every single moment. Now, we can't always control our circumstances. We can't necessarily always control the people in our life or various things. We can't control the weather, but what we can control and is always in our hands is how we are choosing to see things, how we are choosing to see what is happening around us. How do we choose to see and experience this holiday season? Are we going to continue to bring, stress and overwhelm because we've associated that with the holiday season? We're going to bring that into the present moment? Or are we going to ask ourselves, is there a different way to approach this? Is there a different way to be with this? And that is in our power. And that is how we become a master of ourselves, is by recognizing that we have a choice to see. How do we choose to see our lives, ourselves, and what is happening around us? Are we seeing this life for this moment that has never happened before? This moment right here has never happened before. It's a fresh, brand new moment. But what happens is a lot of time we take all of our past baggage and we dump it into this moment, and we end up recreating the same thoughts, the same patterns, the same conditioning, the same feelings, the same emotions. And that's how our life becomes this hamster wheel of the same. So we get to choose. When we recognize that becoming a master is all about our mindset, we get to remember that how we are seeing things doesn't have to be dictated by our past. It can be dictated by how we are seeing this moment alone. Okay? So we need to remember that, not just during the holiday season, but in every day of our life. So I want you, once you recognize that we are masters, we take responsibility for how we are seeing things, how we are experiencing things, I want you to remind yourself of your why. Now, you've probably heard about this, what is your why? Why is it important? What is our why? Our why is, first of all, why is it important to take care of yourself? Why is it important to take care of your health? In the big picture of life, why is it important to take care of yourself? Is it because there are health issues that are going to be coming? Maybe they've, visited your door already. Maybe you can see yourself kind of running into trouble if you continue the way you are continuing, whether through eating or, just not taking care of yourself. Why is taking care of yourself, your health, and wanting to become a master of your life, why is that important? I always ask my clients, where are you on the priority scale? Where are you in your health on the priority scale? And often we put ourselves and our health way down on that scale. And I always say, because this is most important, that we have to put ourselves at the very top. And for those of you who are parents, you think, well, but my children come first or whatever, I need to be there for them. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But we can't be our best selves. We can't be our best, be the best parent. We can't be the best spouse, the best partner, the best business partner, the best whatever human being. We can't be our best self if we aren't making ourselves a priority and our health a priority. This body here is a temple. It is the temple of our soul. It is the stage for shining our unique light into the world, to sharing our gifts, our unique gifts into the world. And if we don't change our mindset about how we are seeing ourselves and our body being the temple of our soul that literally walks and carries us through this physical world, if we don't see that as a priority, it ends up breaking down and we are not emanating our best self into the world. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the cost of you not taking care of you, your body, and your well-being, which means your heart, your mind, your spirituality? If you aren't taking care of that, if you aren't making that a priority, what is the cost that is already affecting your life right now, or that will eventually, in a year from now, 5 years from now? What do you see if you were to continue down this path of maybe not taking the best care of yourself? Where is that leading you to? We have to get clear about why is our health, and when I mean that, again, I mean our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health. Why is that important? You have to make yourself a priority. And if you don't, and you aren't, I want to ask you, why not? Now, that can be a loaded question and beyond the scope of our talk here today, but I want you to ponder. The oxygen mask theory that I've always used is when we fly on an airplane, they always say, if you're traveling with others, to make sure you put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Because if you're passed out on the floor and unconscious, you're not going to be helpful to your children that you're traveling with or anyone else. And it's the same in life. If we aren't taking care of and nurturing ourselves and putting that oxygen mask on ourselves first, then we are not being our best self in life, no matter what. We cannot show up shining our light to the full capacity that we came on this planet to do. So becoming a master of yourself, your health, your circumstances, and your life starts by making yourself a priority. You have to decide that you're important, and nothing, and I mean nothing, is worth losing your life force or your well-being. What are the non-negotiables for you? Walking through this holiday season or walking through any time in life, if there is a feeling or an energy that feels like it drains you, it depresses you, we need to check in with that. Why are we giving ourselves? Why are we giving our energy? Why are we giving our thoughts? Why are we giving our worry to something that is literally draining our life force? And let me tell you, in my experience dealing with cancer in the last 3 years, nothing like cancer to give you a really clear picture of where is my life force going, and is it nurturing and uplifting me, or is it literally taking away and depleting my life force? This is something we all have to ask ourselves. Where are we putting our energy and why? Again, some deep questions here, but really, really important. If we want to become a master of ourselves, and like I said, walking through the holidays or walking through any moment of our life, any circumstance that might be challenging, we have to learn to become a master of ourselves and recognizing what we are choosing in each moment. So what are you willing to do and what are you not willing to do in this holiday season or in life in general? Where is your life force going? Is it depleting you or is it nourishing you? So the main question is, are you worth your own self-love and care? Because if we don't believe that we are worthy of our self-love and care, trust me, no one else will. We have to learn, first of all, to believe that we are worthy of our own love and that is important to us. Because if we don't, that's where we get disempowered and that's where we start to feel like a victim to life and circumstances. So, some key questions here. Self-awareness and the power of the pause. So we have our mindset, recognizing that how we see things is purely in our power. Okay? We become masters when we recognize that our mindset is the key to everything. Self-awareness, the power of the pause. Every choice we make matters. Taking each moment as it comes, instead of feeling overwhelmed by looking at the whole month of December as, we take each moment as it comes. When we take each moment as it comes, we allow ourselves to tune in each moment, tune into ourselves, check in. How do I feel? Where is my energy? Is my energy being drained? Is my energy being nourished? Okay, we have to get out of the automatic pilot mode of our conditioning and our programming. We need to recognize that every choice we make, whether it be conscious or unconscious, has an effect on how we feel about ourselves and affects our health and well-being in general. It affects how we experience life. But when we slow ourselves down and pause in each moment, we can tune in and check in to what we need in each moment and make a conscious or better choice. I always say that whatever choice we're making, we are always making choices, whether they are conscious or unconscious. And when they're unconscious, that's when we fall into that automatic pilot, that conditioning, that programming, and we end up making the same choices of our past. And if we want to have a different experience, we have to make different choices. And that comes from pausing and becoming self-aware of the choices that we are making in each moment. So the key in every day of the year, not just during the holidays, is becoming aware, self-aware, and pausing in each moment. This becomes imperative when we are stressed and overwhelmed in particular. When we are stressed and overwhelmed, it's usually because we are out of the moment. We are taking on the accumulation of all the days ahead, the months, whatever it is. We are totally out of the moment. The future isn't even here. The past is in the past. The only moment we have to do anything about is right here, right now. And this is where we become the masters, through our self-awareness and through the power of the pause. So when you find yourself during the holidays or whenever feeling stressed and overwhelmed, that is your key. That is your red flag to stop, to pause, to tune in. What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it in my body? Am I feeling drained? Am I feeling nourished? What choices am I making right now that are affecting how I am seeing things and how I am experiencing things in my body. How I am seeing things, is it uplifting me or is it taking me down? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. So when you find yourself feeling stressed and overwhelmed, remember that means that you're out of the moment. But in this moment, we can stop, we can pause. We can make time for ourselves to reconnect with our center, reconnect with our heart, reconnect with our soul, with ourself. We can go for a 10-minute walk. Movement equals life. For those of you who've taken my classes, you hear me say that all the time. Movement equals life. Not only is it good for getting the junk out of the trunk of our body, it's also good for our mind. It changes how we see things and how we experience things, how we perceive things. It always sends oxygen to the brain, and it allows us to have a different perspective. So if you can, movement is one of the keys, and it doesn't have to be going to the gym for an hour. It can just be going out for a walk or just doing some stretching, some intentional conscious stretches or some kind of movement. Put on music, dance for a little bit. Dancing's awesome. Just to do something to push the pause and reset button, to take time for yourself in all the moments that we have, okay? That we need to stop ourselves and do something for ourselves in each moment. Make time to do what you need to do to nurture yourself, and remember to come back to your why. Why is taking care of yourself so important? Why is your health and well-being so important? What is it contributing to your life? What is the cost of not taking care of yourself? So becoming a master means we become self-aware. We recognize how we are seeing things. We take the power of the pause to check in, to tune in, to recognize that we have a choice in every single moment. Whether you're at a holiday party and you're faced with all of this food, or you're just overwhelmed, we can pause, we can check in. This moment has the power to transform us on all levels. So when it comes to eating and drinking in particular, and we're talking about the holiday season here are some key things to remember, okay? First of all, overwhelm and losing ourselves comes from being out of the moment. We talked about this. So number one, plan and envision. What are your triggers? If you are scheduled to go to a holiday party or to be with family, and we all know our triggers. Our triggers can be that we are stressed, that we're too busy, that we have family situations that can be challenging. Maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's food. What are your triggers? It's really important to know what your triggers are, and then to plan around, have a strategy of how, okay, I know this is triggering for me. I know this usually can cause a cascade of me going into the abyss and not feeling good about myself. What can I do for myself? Do I need to, pause? Do I need to take a breath? Do I need to, whether it's avoid a certain situation, is this situation draining me, or whatever it might be? Know what your triggers are, plan and envision. Have a plan of how you're going to handle that. And if any of you need help with that, of course, contact me and we can discuss and have a strategy session about that. Number two, pause and check in before making any choice. Now, we've touched upon this, okay? The power of the pause in each moment. If we stay present, remember, our masterhood of ourselves and our life is right here in this moment. We take each moment as this present moment, not the past, not the future, right here, right now. Pause in and check in before making a choice. There's, a lot of food there on the table. I can make a choice. How much of that do I want to have? Or can I get myself out for a little bit of a walk before or after we eat? Whatever it is, we can always make a choice so that we can feel better about ourselves. So think about your plan, think about your strategy, pause, check in before making any choice. Making a better choice doesn't have to be even the best choice, but what is the better choice that we can make? 3, don't be overly restrictive. If we go in with a holiday season and there's lots of food, alcohol, all of that, if we are restrictive, overly restrictive, that's when we set ourselves up for overeating and self-sabotage. Okay? Allow yourself to enjoy this time, enjoy the moments, enjoy the food that you're drinking. But again, being mindful. Being mindful. You can use number 4, the hunger scale, from 1 to 10. 1 means you're starving, 10 means you're Thanksgiving full. The hunger scale, and I will talk about this for myself, has really, really been helpful. And the more mindful I am, because, it's easy to we get distracted or we're just shoveling things in. And before we know it, we're stuffed and feeling yucky. That does nothing for our self-esteem. But when we are tuned in, when we're present, when we're recognizing that we're making choices here, if you tune into the hunger scale, how hungry or full are you? Always think about a 7. The 7 is that point where you're like, I'm okay. I've eaten enough. I feel okay. But if I take a couple more bites, I'm going to move into that uncomfortable zone. And that is a real key to choosing what and how much we eat. If we are unconscious or we are oblivious, or if we've been drinking alcohol, of course, can totally throw out any judgment of what we're doing. And I think most people can relate to that. When we start drinking, we start forgetting about, we're not tuning in, we're not pausing, and then we overeat and it can be a mess. So if you can tune into the hunger scale 1 through 10 and think about a 7 is that place where you're comfortably full. Anything beyond that is going to be uncomfortable. Okay. And then, of course, don't necessarily deprive yourself of anything. When we deprive, again, that's when we sabotage, that's when we binge, that's when we overeat. Just think of the 3-bite rule. Studies have actually shown that it's in the first 3 bites of any kind of food where you get the most flavor and enjoyment from it. And then beyond that, it's just kind of taken up space and adding excess calories. So if you have a favorite dessert or cookies or whatever it is, you don't have to say, oh my gosh, I can't have that. No, that's only going to create, like I said, a scenario that you're going to end up self-sabotaging yourself. 3-bite rule, take those bites and savor them. Oh my gosh. Again, having to deal with what I've been dealing with. I have an ostomy bag at this point in time due to my cancer. I have had to really, really, really chew my food well. And let me tell you, it has really been an amazing experience because I find that when you really chew your food well and for a long period of time, not only does it slow you down, it allows you to enjoy the food. I actually enjoy my food more, and I find myself eating less because you become satiated with the time that you are chewing and you're tasting. If we are just wolfing things down, and this is where being mindful and being aware comes into play, if you're just wolfing things down, you are eating a whole bunch of calories that you don't even need. So allow yourself the 3-bite rule. Try not to restrict yourself. Use the hunger scale. Don't be overly restrictive. Just pause in, check in before you make a choice, and remember your plan and your strategy and knowing what your triggers are. All of these things can be very helpful in specifically in terms of eating and drinking during the holidays. Okay? And one of the key things to everything is to breathe. Breathing keeps us present, in tune, and self-aware. Each moment is the only moment we have. We may think that, oh my gosh, we're carrying the past, and often we do. We carry the past into the present, or we're worrying about the future that may never even happen. And very rarely are we just present with this moment. But this is the only moment we have. And it's all about mastering our choices, our health, and ourselves one moment at a time, so that we don't have to be hijacked during the holidays or hijacked from our life in any moment in time. We are the masters. We are the masters, and we become the masters when we stay in the moment and we remember it's all about our mindset and how we are seeing things, how we are choosing in each moment. Use the holidays and every single day as an opportunity for you to become a master of yourself. How does that sound? Remember, every moment is an opportunity to become a master of yourself. Isn't that exciting? Woohoo! All right. Happy holidays to all of you. I wish you all the best always. And if you have any questions or you need any help or guidance or you need somebody to keep yourself accountable, whether it's the holiday season or any time, I am here for you. And I am here to lift you to your mastership. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. And let's make the world a better place for you, for me, and the entire human race. But first, we have to make the better choices for ourselves. Have a great day. Happy holidays.